Dota 2. So, this tutorial that we're going to go into is mostly about combat ranged combat, I guess. The first one was with Dragonite. He's a melee character unless he's in his dragon form. This is going to be with Sniper, so he's a ranged hero. A little bit about area of effect. He has one skill, Shrapnel, which lays down over a certain radius shrapnel and does damage. A little basic introduction to the minimap, towers, couriers and stash, and item teleportation scroll. So we'll step into that now.
Sniper
And
here.
so we're Sniper,
Time for target practice.
and we're trying to take down Tidehunter. So this creep is giving me a Tango. Tango is a consumable similar to the Healing Salve and the Clarity. I use it on a tree by first activating the item with my mouse 4, and then I'm eating the tree. So it gives me 115 health over 16 seconds. So as you can see, I gain this. You can't deny it, so it'll continue even if you get attacked. And there's 4 stacks, so I'll be able to use this 4 times to regain health.
Of course.
So, again, like last one, we'll be attacking enemy creeps and
Center of mass.
trying to get level 2.
Yes. Sure is shooting.
So, I will auto attack to try and speed
Going
this
ballistic.
up. As you can see, I draw the aggro of that creep because I was the only thing attacking it.
Spotted. My aim
And
is
now that we're
truly
level
never.
2, we can use our shrapnel.
Oh,
So, this little area now is being rained
into
upon
the
by
breach.
shrapnel, dealing some damage over time. And
Yeah.
also, I think the bird mentioned that it doesn't do damage to friendlies, so you can stand in it and your
Spot
friends can stand in it and they won't take damage. Again, I'll eat another tree to get my life up closer to
My
full. You
spotter
typically want to be as
directs.
close to full as you can. You don't want to be low on health. So it's going to tell us to go over to this tower and defend it, and we got a little base here. And
Run and gun.
so now we're going to wait for the bird to tell us to walk,
Aha.
and it's pinging, or you can do a couple different kind of pings.
course.
So we're going to shrapnel this to
Shoot 'em up. Aha. Yeah.
So we'll keep attacking Tidehunter until he wants to go away.
Yes.
And he just used his ultimate attack, and now he's going to run away.
Uh-huh. Higher caliber.
So it's going to tell me to level up my second ability, which is a passive. It gives me a 40% chance to proc a mini stun and deal some extra damage. So we're going to level that up. And we're going to keep attacking creeps. So you see that little animation there that goes on the creep, showing that they're stunned.
Steady up. A fistful of
Level up
bullets.
shrapnel so we can do a little more damage over time. So now instead of doing 12 damage per second, we're going to be doing 24. So now we've doubled, which is a pretty significant
Yes.
increase.
Uh-huh.
Again, if you can get last hits, it's always beneficial.
On
And
target.
here's a siege unit that we just destroyed. And I think it's going to tell us to go back to base. Nope. Alright, so it's showing us that we can buy items when we're not in base. So my base movement speed is 290. I'm going to buy this and it's going to increase my movement speed by 50, so I'll have 340. So I'll buy it now, goes in my stash. And I can pick it up later, or once it shows us we can use couriers. And it wants me to pick up a ring of protection as well. As you can see, my base armor at my level is 3. So I'm going to buy this, it'll give me an extra 2 once I pick up the item.
Spotted.
And I think it's going to make us go back to base to get the items.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm going to grab them. Now I have the items. As you can see, movement speed up to 340, and I have an additional 2 armor. And now it's going to do a brief introduction into couriers, which are basically little donkeys that ferry your items to you. Very useful, but they can also get killed by the enemies, so you have to be careful sometimes. So I'm going to drop my courier. There he is. And I think we're going to go back to the tower.
Line of sight.
Gonna have some fun and deny my creep.
Take this.
And as always, we're gonna follow the creeps around.
Shrapnel.
Drop a shrapnel down to clear everyone out.
Target practice paying off.
And he's gonna go over there, and we're not gonna be able to touch him.
I'm not ready. It's not time yet.
So he ran away. And they want us to level up to level 6 again so that
As
we
you
can
say.
hit him with our ultimate. So we're gonna go to the secret shop. Secret shop holds a special set of items. Orb of Venom, Ring of Health, Void Stone, Energy Booster, Vitality Booster, Point Booster, Hyperstone, Demon Edge, Mystic Staff, Reaver, Eagle Song, and the Sacred Relic. Most of these items can only be purchased at the secret shop, minus the Energy Booster, the Ring of Health, and the Orb of Venom. The rest have to be bought at a secret shop, and there's typically 2 on the map for Dota. So it made me buy the Energy Booster, which upgraded my boots to Arcane Boots. So I get an extra 250 mana base, and I have an active ability that allows me to restore 135 mana. So I'll activate that now. Probably wouldn't suggest these on Sniper, but for the sake of the tutorial it's fine, because you're going to be spamming shrapnel a lot probably, so.
Yeah. Yes.
Again, we're going to drop down shrapnel.
Yes.
Oh, and it's going to teach us about pulling.
Of
So,
course.
basically what I want to do is hit these creeps and pull them towards my other creeps over here and let them deal with them, and I'll hit them. So I'm going to hit them and run away.
My spotter
There we go.
directs.
We aggroed our creeps, and now they're going to deal with the neutrals.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Follow
Again,
more.
cleared out those creeps, and we're going to refill our mana because it's getting a little low. And they want us to buy a Sage Mask, which will upgrade our Ring of Protection to a Ring of Basilius. So we're going to purchase that, and it's going to go in our stash, and we can now use the courier to deliver that item to us. So now the courier is going to take its leisurely time to walk the item to us. And there we go. So now I have a Ring of Basilius, and it has an active aura, which gives a passive mana regen and armor. If I have this active, it'll give it to the creeps as well. As you can see, they have it on their life bars. Typically you wouldn't want that because it's going to push out the lane, so you would deactivate it and only give the aura to yourself. But in terms of this, I'll just keep it on because it typically doesn't really matter in the tutorial.
Spotted.
So again, we're going to use shrapnel to hopefully speed this up a bit.
A few bullets more. This'll hurt.
Keep blast hitting creeps, always important.
Spot on. It's not time. Shrapnel.
And we now learned our ultimate. And they're going to teach us about flying couriers and teleport scrolls. So, my flying courier right now is a land-based courier, I guess you could say. He walks on land. And so now we're going to buy the flying courier, which will upgrade him to a flying courier. So now he's got wings and he flies around. So now we're going to buy a teleport scroll and have him deliver it to us. And as you can see, he can fly over things. He has unobstructed movement, which means he can fly over pretty much anything on the map, which is helpful for getting your items to you quicker. But you still have to worry about him getting attacked by enemies and dying, so you have to be careful. And now we are going to teleport back to the tower. So we're going to gain, similar to the tangos, we're going to activate and then click where we want to go. And we're now teleporting.
Uh-huh.
And we gotta wait for the bird to come back.
Run and gun. Of course.
We go up here and activate our ultimate.
Shooting nets.
And we have now defeated Tide Hunter.
Bullseye. My spotter guides me.
And we're going to celebrate with some shrapnel. So, that is the second tutorial for Dota. Again, sorry for having to make it twice, but this one will be a little bit more informative since it's full screen. So again, this one is range combat, giving you some lowdown on the courier, flying courier, teleport scrolls, again some more last hitting and buying items and such. And some area of effect with the shrapnel, so fairly useful. And so now I believe we're going to move into the little cinematic
In
that was
Dota,
created. So
two
listen.
teams face each other across a vast battlefield. The teams, called Radiant and Dire, are each made up of 5 players. Whichever team is able to destroy the opposing team's ancient will claim victory. Across the battlefield are scattered a number of important locations, from monster-infested jungles to the river, which divides the team's starting territories. As the match begins, each player chooses a hero from a diverse roster and then spends their starting gold on a handful of inexpensive items. Within each base are 3 sets of barracks, where uncontrollable units, called creeps, march forth. These creeps progress down one of the 3 lanes toward the enemy base. Each lane is protected by 3 defensive towers, which will attack advancing creeps or heroes. In the early stages of battle, heroes have yet to gather their strength and may wish to travel with their creeps for protection from enemy creeps and other forces. As the battle continues, heroes kill enemy creeps and enemy heroes to gain gold and experience. This will allow them to gain power and begin assaulting the enemy team's outer defensive towers.
Alright, so this is basically showing you like the laning phases where you're letting the creeps take care of each other and such. There's Dragonite and Sniper from the first two tutorials and their ultimate attacks. And there's a tower that you have to destroy in lane. Got some shrapnel and breathe fire going on.
The river is the source of runes. Runes provide temporary but powerful bonuses. Heroes may sometimes find it safer to attack neutral creeps in the jungles, or they may gather to assault the mighty Roshan in his lair, hoping to harvest his resurrecting Aegis of Immortality. In time, a team will become powerful enough to advance their forces into the enemy base, where they may destroy the enemy barracks to grant
There's a
themselves
sniper with
mega
Desolator,
creeps in
and
that
he
lane.
is wrecking everybody.
Once they have breached
Oh, and
the
one
enemy's
benefit of
inner
shrapnel is that you can
defenses,
use it
the
on
team
item-
must
or
attack
towers
and
as
destroy
well.
the ancient
So
to
you can
claim
place it over a
victory.
tower and it'll do damage to both the creeps and also the tower, so it's very good for control. There's a Juggernaut ulti. Does a little short video on the basics of Dota 2.